Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of mprugs.com. My name is Mike. I'm the moderator in a series of videos that is all about Persian rugs and carpets from around the world. Hope you and your family are doing well, and I welcome you to our channel. In this video, this is actually part 2 of a series that I took, and it's about the popular classic Persian Keshan rugs. The Keshan rugs, as I have shown you in the previous video, and the link to it is below in the description, is one of the best known, or is amongst the best known types of Persian rugs. And in the previous video, I talked about how the city is influenced by the other rug weaving communities. North of it, we have Qom. In the south, we have Isfahan. And to the southeast, we have Nain. And I showed you examples and gave you a little bit of a background about the Keshan rugs, why the designs are the way they are. And I talked about the quality. And I promised in the last video that I would be showing you a couple of extremely rare, just masterpieces. And two of them that I'm standing on one of them right now. There is two beautiful examples of extremely rare Keshan rugs. And then there is a pure silk Keshan right behind me on the wall that I put on the board right here. These are not the average typical standard Keshans. As I mentioned in the previous video, the Keshan rugs, they tend to be a working class type of carpet. They are not known for being the high-end type of rugs. Typically, the Keshans are the type of rugs that you buy, you keep in your home, and then you basically throw them away, or you give them away. These are not what we call investment grade, high quality rugs, but there are, of course, exceptions. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 such pieces. As you can see here, these are extremely rare, that you will find such pieces. And just so that you know, for example, and then I do actually have to write this down myself. Well, being that my parents are Persian, but I was born and raised in Germany, and before I moved to the States, when it comes to names, I screw things up left and right. This design that you're about to, well, actually, here's a picture of it, the Mohtasam. This is not a genuine Keshan Mohtasam. We think it may be, but because we don't have the paperwork. And I've had several people who have said yes, well, and then others have said maybe. Whenever I have a consensus that is not 100%, I will never, this is just the way I do business. I'm not the kind of guy that goes out there and says, yes, this is this, when it may not be. In this case, this is a classic Keshan Mohtasam design. Mohtasam, and I do apologize. I know I'm going to screw this one up. And I can't wait to see what the folks, many of you, for those of you that are Farsi speaking, feel free to correct me and put it in the comment section, and I do apologize. But this is one of those rare pieces that, for those of you that are into the Keshan rugs, or if you're knowledgeable about the Persian rugs, you would look at this and say, oh yeah, this is classic Keshan. Then you have this absolute, just stunning masterpiece. It's beyond masterpiece. This is an art piece type of quality that I'm standing on. Here's a picture of it, and it's just the silk. When you look at it, what you're seeing, the shininess, that is all pure silk that shines at you. The flowers, the large floral patterns, it's an amazing, stunning piece. And both of those are quasi-antiques. We're looking at rugs that are anywhere between 80 to 100 years old. We think the Mohtasam was older than this medallion piece right here. The medallion piece, we're guesstimating it to be about 80 years old. But, and I know in case some of you are wondering, when you look at the, if you're curious about the value of it, well, that's right there. That's a good size Mercedes sedan right there that you're looking at, in case you're wondering how much the rug would cost. So these are not inexpensive. These are collectibles. They are extremely rare pieces. These are also the types of rugs that you wouldn't typically see at a museum. If you go to rug stores and everything, feel free to look around. These are extremely rare pieces. Then lastly, we have the pure silk Keshan. Now, Keshan, being that it is influenced by the gome weavers, will at times you will have pure silk Keshan rugs. They are extremely rare, and it's a novelty type of item. This is something like, in this case, this one is about, we're guesstimating it to be about 50 to 60 years old. It is in excellent condition, and it is in excellent condition because the original owner clearly displayed it as a decor rug. This was obviously not something that was walked on. And so this is one of those rare types of pieces that I was able to basically borrow from a friend of ours who is also in the wholesale business. And since I wanted to feature the Keshan rugs in this video and give you some examples of rare pieces, he let me borrow it. And so in the previous video, I had introduced you to a couple of older Keshans that show you the influence of the Keshan design, how much influence it gotten from the Isfahan community as well as from the Gome community. And so in this video, I thought I can show you these three rugs. And now what I'm going to do is, as always done, I'm going to get behind the camera, show you some of the close-up features, because these are just absolutely stunning pieces. And then obviously I'm going to come back to you and say my goodbyes to you. So as always, from behind the camera, I can give you the close-ups of the three rugs that I'm featuring in this video to give you some ideas for what really exceptional Keshan rugs are all about. And I'm going to start out with the Mohtasam. And I know I probably already pronounced it badly 3 different ways. But this design right here, this what appears to be tile pattern. You'll see that the patterns are unique, and this is classic. Again, we've had weavers, we've had some of our fellow wholesalers, and we're not too sure whether this is a genuine from the Mohtasam workshop or if it is a very well-made copy of the design. This is one that we could not agree on. But as I move in, just to give you an idea, this is what a classic design from the workshop is all about. It's a really exceptional piece. But like I said, and this is a very old piece. This is, it is what is considered to be an antique. However, having said that, these types of rugs, they are generally collected. And even back then when they were made and sold, they were literally sold as art pieces, as masterpieces. So these are, like in this case, for example, you have the cork wool, but it's a very, very fine cork wool, about 300 kpsi, just an exceptional piece. But this is what the older Keshan Mohtasam were all about. Next we have on the wall, and I actually had to dim the lights on this one because this is one of those pieces that, this is a pure silk Keshan, and it's an I mean, like I said, it speaks for itself. It's a pure silk. This is a semi-antique, exceptionally well made. I actually had to dim the lights in the warehouse because I was literally afraid that when it gets too bright in here, it loses the luster. The colors are not as real looking when it's really bright in the warehouse, and I do apologize. I do my best with the lighting, and like I said, I take these videos by myself. I am not a big fan of editing things. I kind of like to keep it pure and simple as is. And I'm just I'm showing you the design here a little bit at an angle to give you an idea for the lighting, and also show you these have about 350 to 400 kpsi. Very similar in terms of quality to the pure silk Tabriz rugs. I had one that I featured in one of my other videos, and but like I said, as I also mentioned to you in the previous video about the Keshan rugs, if you notice the design, the vines and the flowers, the way the curvature, this is all classic Keshan with the influence of the Isfahanis. This is very, very traditional. And you can also, I mentioned to you in the previous video, how Keshan is actually not far from Nain and how they're influenced. Now with the Nain rugs, they don't make pure silk. It's extremely, in fact, I don't think I've ever seen a pure silk Nain rug. But what you will find is this design without the colors. If you just look at this design and you compare it to the Nain rugs, and just to give you an idea, I'm just going to toss one in here. Look at the design and you will see that the floral pattern that you see right here in the pure silk Keshan is actually found in the Nain rugs, although it is much more subtle in the Nains. So there is the pure silk example of a Keshan rug. Now I left the best of the best for last, and this is a museum piece. This is the kind of rug that, as I mentioned to you, it's extremely rare. I mean, this is just a museum piece. I don't know how else to put it. Notice my finger is pointing at the light areas. That is all pure silk. And in fact, I'm just going to zoom in. You can see all that. That is pure silk. All of the light areas, like right here, here, everything that you see shining back at you, it's all pure silk. I'm just going to zoom out. Notice how much it is. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. You have the cork wool, and then you have the silk. All of this is just pure silk. And it's throughout the whole rug. As I'm going up here, you can see how it just shines at you. This is a semi-antique. I don't know, I can only guesstimate that it was made on order at the request by someone who was extremely wealthy at the time when it was made. I don't think this is something that somebody would just decide to make on their own. This is such a unique, over-the-top piece. And it is in such amazing condition. I'm going to say that this rug was made for a very wealthy family, obviously, who then had it displayed out in the open. There is virtually no damage, even the fringes. When you look at the quality, when you look at, and you can always tell, not just the age, but you can tell how the rug was taken care of. And these are the original fringes. There's nothing about this rug that had to be redone. And I'm just going to flip it over to the back of it. Now, I know there's a good chance some of you are going to be asking about the price. And I mentioned to you, this rug, which I don't even think I have it listed in my website, but it's really only going to be made available for very few people. If you're going to ask how much this rug is, I'm going to let you know right now, you are looking probably into right about, I'm just going to throw a number at you, 100,000. This is a very large rug, but it's also extremely, extremely expensive. This is a type of rug, as they say, I knew a guy that was in the car business, and he said if somebody comes in to buy a Rolls Royce and they ask the dealer how much it is, the dealer will tell them, obviously you can't afford it. This is not the type of rug that you would typically find. I was able to, like I said, because of us being in the wholesale business, I'm able to do these types of videos because we have friends who have rugs like this. But like I said, this is a type of rug that really belongs at a museum. And I'm just going to zoom in. You see the medallion right there? And I can go on and on about this rug right here. So I just want you guys to know. So I hope you enjoyed these types of rugs. For those of you that are into Persian rugs, I mean, this is something that anyone who loves rugs would love to at least see in person and feel. And I'm sorry you're not here to be able to do it. So I just wanted to close off this part of the segment of the video. So I hope you enjoyed the video, the second part of the Keshan rugs. As I always say, if you like to help us, if you enjoyed the channel, hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified when new videos become available. I do my very best to answer questions that you may have. If you, whether you leave them in the comments section or if you email us by visiting mprugs.com, I do my very best. Our YouTube channel is a hobby of mine. It is something that I like to do in my spare time. So forgive me if I'm not able to get back to you immediately, but I do my very best. I try to answer as many of the questions as I can. And so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to be coming back to you with many more videos to come. I wish you and your family the very best. Best wishes from all of us. Take care. Bye-bye.